Hello friends, welcome to Susan and John Matthew. From today onwards, we're going to start a new series that is Grade 12 exam preparation. And obviously, we'll start with the most important topic in Grade 12, that is calculus. Calculus is approximately 20 to 22 marks in Grade 12. And one more good thing, even if you did not learn calculus properly in grade 11, don't worry, we'll always start with a revision. So the first thing we are going to do in lesson 1, that is this lesson is, we're going to make a plan. And then I will give you 24 formulae which you learned in class 11 and 6 of them you learn in class 12. So before you start lesson 2, you should be very good with all the 24 formulae. Anyway, we start with a quick revision, then the standard derivative, chain rule, implicit, and the class 12 topics. And we'll do the same thing with integration, and using differentiation and integration skill, we will learn differential equation very easily. Okay, now all these lessons are divided into small micro lessons, means just 5 to 10 minutes videos, so that you can put maximum attention. But remember one thing, if you're going to use this video lesson, you must keep some paper and pen with you, or it'll be much better if you keep a notebook and a pen so that you can work out along with me. And after watching the video, you should use any textbook or past papers and practice more questions similar to the ones we do in the video. Okay, let's start. So lesson 1, planning, the formulae and meaning of derivative. 24 formulae. So I wanted to take a screenshot and let me explain this. Can you see x to the power n and can you see a to the power x? They are different, 100% different. And the reason is, in calculus, the letters A, B, C up to LMN are treated as constants unless otherwise mentioned. So look at this. When I write x to the power 3, I can understand we are talking about variable and the power is a number. But if someone tells me 7 to the power x, immediately my brain tells, okay, number or a constant to the power variable. So I will use the formula a to the power x. By the way, this is called polynomial function and this is called exponential function. And anyway, this is a special case of exponential function. And we know that log e. By the way, some of your teachers might write log x, but you have to understand one thing. In calculus, our assumption is log has a base e, so that we can use the formula. If the base is something else, we cannot apply this formula. You had the derivation in your class 11 when you derived all these formula using basic principles, the first principles. So whenever you write log x, you have to understand the base is supposed to be e, and a better way of writing is write ln x, because ln x by default means log x to the base e. So can you see? X power n means variable to the power number and a power x means an exponential function. That means constant to the power variable. And e power x is the same category, but log e is 1. Since log e is 1, because log e to the base e, that will be 1, we get e power x as e power x log e. And you have to learn root x. Actually, root x is x power 1 by 2. So same category, but not polynomial, but still variable to the power a number. 1 by x means x to the power minus 1, but we cannot waste our time deriving the formula each time. So I want you to mug up this root x, the derivative is 1 by 2 root x, and 1 by x, the derivative is minus 1 by x square. Then comes the trigonometric functions, and there is a very easy way to learn. If you see any co-function means the trigonometric functions that start with CO. If you see any co-function, you have to remember the answer will be negative. And then comes the next 12 functions. Sine inverse, similarly, see, negative, cot inverse, negative, cosec inverse, negative. When you go for university level, some people will make sure the formula is like 100% accurate, so they will ask you to put modulus. Anyway, in your class 12, you can write 1 by x multiplied by root under x square minus 1. They'll still give you mark, but these restrictions are very important when you reach university level. Now comes the last part, which is very, very, very important for your class 12. These are called hyperbolic function. Okay, now let me tell you something which might sound funny. These are called the drunken mathematician's trigonometric function. Means imagine a mathematician takes some alcohol and tries to learn trigonometry. So sine cos will sound like shine, cosh, dan, cosec, coth and shake. But actually, this is the proper way to pronounce the hyperbolic function. But the American mathematicians, they call a little bit different. They call this as chin x, cosh, dansh, etc. Anyway, the British mathematicians, which we follow, they call this shine, cosh, dan, cosec, sheik, and coth. But if you don't want to sound like a drunk person or a funny person in class, you can just call it sine hyperbolic x. But one warning, I have seen many students writing sine hx, which is 100% wrong. You should not write the hyperbolic function like this. You have to write shine. That's why they prefer the proper pronunciation, shine, cosh, dan. Okay, anyway, if you write, you have to write sine hyperbolic x like this. It should be together. Cos hyperbolic x, tan hyperbolic x. Okay, so point number one, before you start lesson number two, you should be very good with the 24 formulae, and you have to study a few more formulae. That will be very easy, that we'll think later. Okay, now the last part. By the way, once more I'll repeat, in order to maintain the attention, we have kept all the videos in a micro lesson way. That means 5 to 10 minutes long. Okay, I wanted to tell one more very important thing which you learned in class 11. So look at this. We learn mathematics so that we can use these things practically. Right now I'm talking to you means sound waves. Or you can think about the growth of a plant. That means there is some sort of rate of change. So whenever you think about a mathematical model, especially the dynamic model, when something moves in the form of a wave, or when we make a bridge in the shape of what do you call, with the help of cables, anywhere we will end up getting mathematical function, and that part is called mathematical modeling. And functions can be converted into graph. And in a graph, the most important part we try to analyze is how the y values are changing with respect to x value. Okay, I'll tell you one example. Come on, look at this. The cost of petrol per liter. Can you see the price of petrol keeps on increasing, decreasing, depending on the price in the international market? So I want to analyze, is it increasing? What is the rate of increase? And this is actually for a mathematician y with respect to x. And when you think little bit deeply, this is nothing but the gradient of the tangent. So look at this. When someone asks you what is dy by dx, you can give two explanations. You can tell them how y is changing in comparison to x. For example, I am planning to study 3 hours per day. And that means after some time, my knowledge will increase. And I want to know what is the rate at which my knowledge is increasing with respect to time. So derivative can be visualized as a rate measurer. And another thing, derivative means the gradient of the tangent. This is the classic definition. This is exactly what Newton saw long back. I'll give you the link to my website. You can read one page about the true meaning of derivative. So once more, when someone asks you what is dy by dx, you should be able to give two proper explanation. Okay, and it start like this. Mathematical models start with relations and functions. Right now, I want you to focus only on function. Now, in a function, the most important part is we want to find how the output is changing with respect to input. Look at this. The price of gold keeps on increasing and decreasing with respect to time. When you keep one ice cube in, like what you call, in a summer day, the ice will start to melt. So there is heat flow. So if you want to study about the change, if you want to compare how one variable moves in relation to the other variable, we will use the derivative. Now the second most important thing, this is how Newton visualized the derivative. Derivative means it is a shortcut to find gradient of the tangent. Anyway, we'll be back with lesson number 2. And before you start with lesson number 2, I want you to be really good with the 24 formulae that I have given here. We'll be back with lesson number 2. Till then, my friends, bye.